Epstein files raise questions about evidence and possible accomplices. Authorities have identified 1,200 alleged victims who were trafficked by Jeffrey Epstein and Ghislaine Maxwell, or by relatives of those victims. The Justice Department's partial release of the long-awaited Jeffrey Epstein files raises important questions, lawmakers and victim advocates say, about potentially botched investigations, and about what other evidence the government may have about potential co-conspirators. Many of the thousands of documents released on December 19 to meet a legal deadline included entire files and grand jury transcripts with significant redactions. Other key investigative documents known to be in the government's possession, including information leading to the federal indictment of Epstein in 2019 and of his longtime associate Ghislaine Maxwell in 2020, were missing entirely. The release did confirm, for the first time, that authorities have identified 1,200 alleged victims who were trafficked by Epstein and Maxwell, or by relatives of those victims, whose names needed to be painstakingly redacted from the documents. But the massive trove did nothing to support long-standing claims by figures including members of President Donald Trump's inner circle, leading Republicans and some Democrats of a government cover-up to protect wealthy accomplices of Epstein. The Justice Department released additional documents the afternoon of Dec. 20, CBS News and Politico reported. Here are some of the key outstanding questions. An evidence list made public December 19, for instance, described large quantities of computers, hard drives and digital tape recorders seized during searches of Epstein's homes, but their contents were not released. A list of more than 200 of Epstein's masseuses was included, but their names were redacted, per DOJ policy to protect the victims. And while much has been alleged about ubiquitous cameras capturing everything that went on in his various mansions and massage rooms, none of that purported video was contained in what the DOJ called its first batch of the Epstein library. They didn't even release the victim interviews, just pictures of the tapes of the interviews, said Julie K. Brown, author of the 2021 book, Perversion of Justice, The Jeffrey Epstein Story. Think about that. A photograph of a tape cassette, Brown said in a Substack post. This would be funny if it wasn't about a crime involving the rapes of 14-year-old girls. Investigators have found that, potentially over decades, the former hedge fund manager and international socialite lured girls as young as 14 into his estates in New York, Palm Beach and the Caribbean, paying them cash for massages that at times led to sex. Rep. Thomas Massie, R. Kentucky, who led the charge to force the Trump administration to release the Epstein files, said DOJ's partial release grossly fails to comply with both the spirit and the letter of the law, and vowed legal challenges. Democratic Representative R. O. Khanna of California, the co-author with Massie of the Epstein Files Transparency Act, said the release amounts to a political cover-up, even after taking into account the DOJ's claim that it is processing the documents as fast as it can. Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche said the Justice Department was doing its best to balance its legal disclosure requirements with its obligation to redact all information about the victims from the files. It planned to release more documents over the next couple of weeks, he told Fox News. So today, several 100,000, Blanche said. And then over the next couple weeks, I expect several 100,000 more. Blanche also shot down claims that the Trump administration would try to protect Trump, saying DOJ would by the end of the year release any documents in its possession about him, and anyone else in the files. Assuming it's consistent with the law, yes, Blanche told ABC News. So there's no effort to hold anything back because there's the name Donald J. Trump or anybody else's name. We're not redacting the names of infamous men and women that are associated with Epstein. Trump and Epstein were close friends for more than a decade in the 1990s and early 2000s before falling out. Khanna said DOJ wasn't going far enough. Look, we're willing to give them some benefit of the doubt, Khanna told CNN. But what we found out is the most important documents are missing. They've had excessive redactions, he said.